Today we're talking to Neil Sorvel following the 3-3 draw at Solihull Moors on Saturday. Neil, first of all, really good, exciting game of football.
Yeah, 3 games in close succession against Solihull. Obviously an opponent who made the playoffs last season, same as us. I think been 3 tight games. I think they've all been, pretty entertaining to a degree. And probably before the game, if you're going away to Solihull and saying you're going to come back with a point, then you'd be relatively happy with that, as we are.
At 2-0 down, the game did seem to be slipping away from us, and in the latter stages of the first half and the early stages of the second half, there wasn't too much sign that we were going to get back into it. But just before the goal, we did sort of start to get on top a little bit, and whilst we hadn't created a clear-cut chance, you could see there was potentially a fight back on the cards.
Yeah, I think particularly the second half, maybe the first 20 minutes of the second half, although we had our first share of the ball, I don't think we'd done a lot with it. We weren't looking as if we were going to be able to break them down. I think first half, by the opening period where we kind of cleared the ball into touch when we could have gone longer, and that results in a throw in and then 2 corners. I felt like the next maybe 25 minutes we were well on top. We had the 2 really good chances where, to be honest, we should take one of them like we'd done at Fylde the previous week. And then the first time they get a bit of pressure at around 27 minutes. I think that was the first time they'd been up there for a while. We conceded, so it was disappointing. I felt on the day we didn't defend well enough. Because coming away from home and scoring 3 goals, you should be capable of taking all 3 points.
A big goal in the game was Regan Linney's second goal at 2-1. That's clearly given everybody a lift, and not only is he on fire at the moment, but he's very inspirational in what he does. His reaction after he scored the goal was, "Come on, we can get something here."
Yeah, look, he's hot at the minute, isn't he? What's that, 5 now in the last 2 games for him, which is really pleasing to see. He's done well drifting out onto that left side, cutting in. It's kind of what he favours. So yeah, good to see him get on the score sheet again. Like the fact that the runs he makes beyond, which he got for his second goal with the header. I think we showed really good character. Particularly you get back in there at 2-1 and you've got a boost from it, and you're thinking, here we go, and then you can see the third. But the lads showed great spirit in coming back from the 2 goals behind twice. Again, the second goal, we've not give up. We've gone and pressed him high up the pitch and trapped him in the corner and turned the ball over for that goal as well, which was good to see.
And the first goal was a terrific move. James Jones, Joe Nuttall, Tyler Golden, Matty Costello, all involved in the build-up. And Matty's cut it across, and Regan's still got a bit to do.
Yeah, it was a really good finish from him, but yeah, I think it come from a free kick, didn't it, just inside our half, and we've took it short and kind of been working on that throughout last week with their shape being a 4-4-2 and getting the centre backs to step outside the 2 centre forwards and kind of step in and play forward. So he's done that really well. He's followed through, hasn't he? He's ended up finding himself almost in the 10 position, just outside the box, and impact from Joe as well when he came on. Again, assisting the assist, if you like, with getting Tyler in down the side there and then Cozzy. So yeah, really good contribution from the substitutes on the day as well.
And the second goal on the Solihull commentary, they were critical of the keeper's position, but it was a terrific ball from Tom Crawford and a fantastic run from Regan Linney. He's lost Oakley his marker, and I'd have said it was more down to him losing his marker than poor positioning by the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it was a really well-timed run, and to kind of spot the keeper and adjust his position there to get the contact on the ball and over the keeper. was impressive from him. You know, where I was on about to the forwards about making runs beyond and threatening, and he's made a nice run there from out to in off that left side. Like you say, he's caught the right back unawares there and got him sided. And it's a good adjustment to finish there. I think he's done really well with it.
And whilst there are some goals that are all down to one or two players, most goals involve a number of players. And the third goal, the equalising goal, Elliot Osborne's won it initially from a scrappy piece of play from following a throw in, but Jake Bickerstaff and Joe Nuttall have combined superbly. A lovely touch from Jake Bickerstaff, and Joe's picked out Matty Coslow's run, which was a perfectly timed run. But again, the ball had to be executed well, and it was superb for Matty to run onto.
Yeah, again, another couple of factors which you've just pulled up. If Jake's setback to Joe isn't right, doesn't allow Joe to get hold of the ball and play that pass again, nice way to pass, and a really unerring finish from Cozzy there back across the keeper. Again, another one who's come on and really contributed to the game, had a good impact on it.
Solihull will be clearly very disappointed they've not won the game because 3-1 up with just over 10 minutes to go. You probably should be able to see that out. But they're a very decent side, and you'd expect them to be there or thereabouts come the end of the season.
Yeah, I think so. Look, touched on earlier, two teams who both got in the playoffs last season were kind of similar records, aren't we, in the league? They're a point ahead of us. So, you know, if we can turn the return fixture around in our favour and get 3 points, then you'd be happy to say 4 points against another team who were in the playoffs last season. You'd be more than happy with that.
Looking back at the AFC Fylde game, of all the games this season, that's probably the one that's gone the best from start to finish, completely obliterated. What was a relatively poor AFC Fylde team on the day, but we still had to score some great goals, and the whole team functioned superbly.
Yeah, and a lot of people have said that about, you know, how poor Fylde were on the day, but if you look at the record, they've took the majority of their points at home. They've beaten some decent teams at home. They've beaten Southend. They've beaten Solihull at home. I know they'd won in the midweek on the Tuesday night before they played us. That was the first win away from home. But at home, the record's been good. So to go and put on the performance that we did was really impressive. Again, as good a kind of collection of goals that you'll see. You know, great finish from Regan for the first one. The second one, we've kind of picked our way through the middle, and another great finish from Regan. Third one, really good counter attack. Fourth one, again, we've got a runner beyond, and then the fifth one, we press high up the pitch with Ozzy and score. So really good kind of collection of goals. I thought we were outstanding on the day, and it was well deserved.
And just reflecting on AFC Fylde, they've beaten Gateshead 3-0 on Saturday, which is probably the eye-catching result of the day. And the keepers had a decent game, but they're clearly capable of scoring goals.
Yeah, I think, you know, they scored. I think the goals for record was better than ours going into that game, but obviously the goals against record, they may be shipping one too many. But to beat Gateshead, I have not seen any of the game, but to beat Gateshead 3-0 is an outstanding result for them.
Southend United on the horizon now. Always a big fixture in Altrincham's calendar. It'll be the fourth time they've come to the J. Davidson Stadium. We've won 2. They won the first encounter. And they're a team, one of the biggest clubs, if not the biggest club in the league. And they'll be a team who'll be disappointed and frustrated with the way they've started the campaign.
Yeah, I think they'd like to be further up the league than where they are. Probably half and half in terms of what the personnel was last season compared to what it is this season. To be honest, not kind of come across them a lot so far in kind of, you know, looking at games against opponents you're up to face. So just started to have a look at them this week, and probably not too dissimilar in terms of shape and how they play to what they've done in previous seasons.
And in Kevin Mayer, they've got a very highly rated manager who's done a very good job over a number of years now in difficult circumstances. And despite the fact they're probably performing under par at the minute, again, you probably expect them to be there or thereabouts come April, May time.
Yeah, you would think so. I feel like this season, a number of teams who've been down in the division for a number of years, they always seem to get their act together at some point. You know, if you think of a Stockport, a Notts County, a Wrexham in previous seasons, and that seems to be the case this season with, you know, York are up there doing well, Rochdale are up there doing well, Oldham are up there. So the ex-Football League teams at some point get their act together and get themselves back up into the Football League. And that seems to be the case at the minute with them three teams doing really well.
And when it gets into the new year, that's probably when a number of teams are going to really think, we're going to really go for it this season when you get to the January transfer window. Whilst that's not probably an easy option for us, there's probably going to be 3 or 4 teams. I'm thinking of the likes of York, that just signed David Adjiboye from Peterborough, who look like they're going to set their stall out.
Yeah, I think so. You know, I'm sure they've got the resources to do that. Seen Oldham signed Lucas as well, didn't they, a couple of weeks back? So, and got Stones back in from Wigan. So, yeah, I think if they're doing well and they're up there around that time, then I'm sure if someone comes available who they like, they'll be ready to pounce and make the squad even stronger.
And how do you assess the strength of the league this season? Clearly, there isn't a Stockport, there isn't a Wrexham, there isn't a Notts County, but there's lots of very strong teams.
Yeah, I think you've summed it up. There doesn't seem to be that kind of team maybe who are going to run away with it. But a lot of teams, like we just spoke about earlier, have got their act together this season and kind of look a lot stronger. So yeah, it's going to be tough to get up into that playoffs because there's going to be a lot of teams fighting for it. You know, you can't kind of disrespect anyone in this league. Anyone can beat anyone on the day. So you've got to be on your mettle every week.
I think we saw that in the game at Braintree, because on the day they performed very, very well in what was possibly our worst performance of the season. But it just goes to show, as you say, anything on one particular 90 minutes can happen. Who would you say are the teams that have impressed you the most that we've come up against this season?
I think Barnet was a good game. You know, we've gone toe to toe with them. Probably you're disappointed at that point not to get something from the game. I always feel if you need to stoppage time, you should get what you've got from the game there. I'll be capable of seeing it out. So that was a disappointing one. So I think they'd be the standout one from what I've seen so far. I thought Oldham were a lot better than what they were last season when we played them at home as well. And them two teams are both up and around it.
And in terms of our progress this season, how pleased have you been with the fact that in the last few games, probably if you go back, with the exception of Braintree, our form is pretty good in recent times. How pleased are you with the fruits of your endeavours from your weekly training on the pitch on a Saturday and a Tuesday night?
Yeah, I think we're pleased. We kind of had the 2-week break going into after the. What game was it? After the Fylde game, we got a game in on the Tuesday at Preston, which was much needed for a lot of the players. Funny enough, I think we had that break last season going into the Southend game. So yeah, we're getting more players up to speed now. Again, we've got another game on Tuesday, which lads will get minutes for. So hopefully the lads who are in and around the squad and need the minutes and having us played as much as they like, is capable of getting them back up to speed in the next couple of weeks and back out on the pitch.